Good afternoon and welcome to Bull Market Stock Show. This is Rian Hobson, and we're doing actually today South Africa's inflation that came out early this morning, where inflation numbers year on year, it was hitting about 5.2%, which is more to the upper range of the mandate of our Reserve Bank. Now, the Reserve Bank is working with a mandate of inflation between 3 and 6%. That is now CPI inflation. That is now things that we normally need to survive. So the Reserve Bank wanted between 3 and 6%. Midpoint for the Reserve Bank is at 4.5%. Upper end of the Reserve Bank, it's like where it is now, it's 5.2%, which is close to 6%. So the thing is, do we need to be concerned about inflation, or will we use the United States part of inflation where they say it's transitory and it will start to decrease? Now, if I go through the numbers, and I will explain my view later on, comparison to with South Africa, and to see what will be our inflation expectations. But just to go through the numbers, which was very interesting for me, fuel is up by 37%. Now, they say here, petrol prices were 41.8% higher in May compared with the same month the previous year, while diesel was 27% more expensive. Vehicle prices climbed by 6.5%. Running costs for vehicle rose by 8.9%. And then also tire prices increased on average by 3.3% from April. So tires and parts and those type of things and cars were actually getting, it's getting actually more expensive. The food, now this is the interesting part. Food and non-alcoholic beverages inflation accelerated to 6.7% in May from 6.3% in April. May reading the highest since July 2017. Meat, fish, oils, fat, sugar, sweets, desserts, that's desserts of all things, recorded rates higher than 6.7%. Annual meat inflation has stubbornly remained above 6% since October 2020, climbing to 8.5% in May. Prices for fish products increased by 7%, a bit lower from April, which was 8.1%. So fish is a bit lower. Obviously, I think it's obviously to do with Easter. So Easter pushed up the prices of fish, and now it's actually coming a bit down because of Easter is now finished. Now, this one is interesting. Cooking oil prices continue to surge, increased by 30% from May 2020 and by 8.5% from April 2021. The average prices of a bottle of a 750 ml bottle of sunflower oil, for example, was $20 a year ago, rising to $30 in May this year. So it is, this thing is actually, for me, the cooking oil part is actually very interesting, because that for me looks like people are staying at home, and that's why cooking oil is actually expensive. So please stop making slab chips and all the oily stuff at home. And I think that is actually where the pressure come in from cooking oil, because people are preferring to stay at home with all this nonsense COVID. I must not mention that word, but all this news that goes around, and then that is where the cooking oil actually increases. Higher cooking oil prices have driven inflation in the broader oils and fat categories, which recorded an annual rate of 20% in May, up from 16.7% in April. Lastly, it is on this part, the sugar, sweets, and dessert index increased by 8.7% on an annual basis, up from 8% in April. So people are eating quite a lot of sugar stuff at home, which is your desserts, your sweets, your chocolates, and those type of things, because people are staying at home and they're just eating. Now, obviously, everybody has this whole story about sugar is not good and everything. Listen, if you feel good by eating your sugar, eat your bloody sugar. But just remember, the prices are going up. Now, the nice part here also is the difference between white sugar and brown sugar. Normally, white sugar is more expensive than brown sugar. Now, all of a sudden, brown sugar prices are increasing and white sugar's prices are dropping, because I think people think, okay, brown sugar is much cheaper, so they will start to buy brown sugar. That is actually, for me, also very interesting, because it just shows that people are at home and they start actually, people are just chilling at home, and people are normally indulging at home, eating their sweets, making food at home, which is actually good for the family unit. Now, but obviously the prices are not so good. The other thing is also alcohol beverages, tobacco products registered an annual change of 5.8%. Wine prices have climbed by 7.2% and tobacco prices by 6.6%. So people are definitely drinking maybe more, and obviously smoking more, chilling at home, and has nothing to do. So those things are actually increasing. Now, the interesting part is that will the inflation be transitory in South Africa, or will it come down so that the Reserve Bank don't raise their interest rates, or will the Reserve Bank push up their interest rates? That is actually the big question now. What will the Reserve Bank raise the interest rates? Now, the United States and South Africa, if I need to compare the data, is actually very interesting, because South Africa had a very weird lockdown where we couldn't do anything at all. If you go to the store to buy shoes, you can't buy this shoes, and people just leave the whole bloody thing. But food prices go up. Now, in United States, people were done buying all their goods, and they're moving now more to services because people want to travel. In South Africa, it's a bit funny. The only services that pick up during the whole lockdown story from last year is your education and housing. Like people buying houses after the whole lockdown have changed, and all of those things, and utilities. Goods actually is climbing quite aggressively. That is like people are buying stuff. I think maybe because people wants to chill at home and just buying a lot of things to make their homes comfortable, because that is actually what's going up. Cooking oils, sugar, and those type of things are going up. So it means that the CPI numbers, for me personally, will be sticky. Although inflation expectations, according to trading economics, the numbers are coming down, but I'm not sure will your basic stuff, will that come down, because people prefer more to stay at home. So I think that will push up actually the interest rates, and that can also lead to other problems in South Africa, which is now your strikes and those type of things. Because believe me, this inflation number is good ammo for your trade unions to come and say, listen here, my people need actually money, so we need to go on wage strikes. And I will not be surprised if we get some endless strikes because of this high inflation number. And I think South Africa's instance is that inflation will be sticky, because that cooking oil and that sugar, those things are a bit sticky for me. And I think that will maybe hold the balance, the basic things for South Africa. And I think that is where inflation will stay there at the upper end for South Africa. So personally, I think, like what Swing Trader was saying, Letshego will not actually miss out on this opportunity. He will raise the interest rates, because I think your basic goods will be stubbornly high. And for your homeowners, especially your new homeowners, it will be quite difficult. Although you fix your bond, that doesn't mean anything if you fix your bond. The thing is, other things are going up in the house. Your house maybe stay that the monthly repayments on your bond maybe stays the same. But you see the other things that are the small things that are increasing, and that makes things difficult. And utilities, weak municipalities, water, electricity is increasing. So other things are increasing, but not much your bond, even though it's fixed. So South Africans, please, I think personally that inflation will be a bit sticky for South Africa, and the Reserve Bank will definitely raise their interest rates. I will not be surprised if we do get about 2 rate increases for this year. So please brace yourself for that, because things will get a bit messy in South Africa. So that is it from my side. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and then I will see you again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye for now.